Welcome to another exciting episode of the $1 Million Peddlers. I'm Paper Guy.
And I'm Mr. Magazine.
And it's the Hump Day Happy Hour Salute. And today we enjoyed Bruegel XV. How did you enjoy it? Yeah, okay, that answers that question.
The bad news was it was hard going down my throat. The good news is my stomach was fine.
So that is a plus right there.
I do see 1.5 of you, so I don't know if you just put on some weight or it's the alcohol talking.
Wow.
Are we ready?
We are ready.
All right.
And I'll read.
Triple J says, "Hiya, let's go." Jay-Z Jess in the house.
Good evening, everyone. Not sure I'll be watching live tonight. Working at my storage unit, sorting vintage photos, books, and toys to take to CNY Regional Flea Market Sunday, June 9th, 2024. That's Sunday.
You know who else might not be watching? Aaron Whitmore, because he's in Texas with a 26-foot Penske and 2 locations in Texas. 2 different people we're buying DVDs from. And he's got about 15,000 DVDs he's bringing back.
Nice.
Nevertheless, Flippin' Rue's in the house. How's it going? Marvelous Michael's in the house. Super Scott's in the house.
Got my old bub out of bed to catch a live for once instead of the replay crew. Nice.
Triple J, how you doing?
Let's go.
Jay-Z Jim, howdy back at you. Super C, the lights is in the house, and the delightful Dawn is always here like clockwork.
Hey-oh.
Nope. Popular Periwinkle, how you doing?
All righty, everybody. We're going to start off the show as we always do. Right. Saying hello to Ron.
Rowdy Ron's in the house. How you doing?
Ron.
Happy Hump Day.
It's been a minute, Ron. Going to ask everybody how sales are going, and you kick it off, Mr. Magazine.
Before I kick it off, Danny Dave's in the house. How you doing? So I think last week I spoke about hiring more employees. We got a couple of card listers, an eBay card lister, an Amazon card lister, but I hired back an old employee that needed a job, and he was a good lister at the time. And, you know, we parted ways, but he's back. And I figured I got to get these guys doing eBay. But I have to put my time in to prep their things they're going to list on eBay. And eBay sales actually have gone up, I would say, 15 to 20%.
Wow.
But again, you know, we got more listers, more eBay stuff, and you know, I'm trying to get better stuff. So like $20, $25 plus items at least for them to list and stuff selling. So I can't complain. I still want eBay to be here. It's probably here, and it was here. So we'll see how it goes. My goal is to get more listers, make more sales, make more money.
Nice.
Danny Daniels here. Good evening. Super C's.
Well, sales, question mark.
Kelly.
Subpar.
I want to know Paperboy sale. Actually, I looked at his sales and I thought, wow, you do as much as me. And then it was 7 days. So sorry.
That's all right. Say hi to other people.
I say hi to Don again.
Sales are okay, but not great. Something is going weird with eBay right now.
Yeah. Well, Paperboy's going to tell you. And if you don't already know.
There are a few things going sluggish. Mostly smalls of the things that do sell. How about Amazon, website, etc.?
Amazon's real above average usually. Nothing great, but I'm happy with it. It's still as good or better than eBay every day of the week. Websites either good or very good. DVD sales are up and down, but always good. You know, eBay's still, you know, the one I got to work on. You know?
Right.
And we're getting there. I think we're gonna do better this year with eBay.
There you go.
Oh, hold on. Awesome Arnie's here.
Hey, guten Tag. Sales have been commensurate with the effort. Lousy. Well, the
weekends are really always worse, and maybe it's the weather, I don't know, or the holidays, but yeah, I hate those 3-day holidays because I know my sales are going to be crap.
You can just send a shipping container to me in Australia to list as long as they are toys and action figures.
Oh, cool.
There you go. So my sales, eBay's been good. eBay has been good. Mr. Magazine saw my sales, and for me, that's a good day.
Yeah, good numbers.
Good. Yeah, that's good. Amazon's good. eBay's good. I cannot, for once, complain.
I mean, you got good stuff. You just got to get the good stuff on, and it's hard because you're the one-man crew. You know, that's it. But do the best you can. Have your system, and it works for you.
The one-man wrecking crew.
That's right.
There you go. No, but my sales have been good. They were a little slow over the weekend, but they've picked back up. And like I said, it's the weekend, graduation season, and I know a lot of people had their graduations already, but a lot of times people will have those parties the week after because they don't want everybody to have a party the same weekend. So some people have the week after.
It's crazy. We got like 2 in the same day and 3 or 4 in the same weekend.
And then people have weddings coming
Yeah.
up, and they've got all that. So the weekends tend to be a little busier. And then the people that have the day jobs, well, you got to mow the lawn, you got to do the yard work, you got to do all that. So
Yeah.
well, I'm going to do that on Sunday. Well, you're not shopping eBay on Sunday.
Yeah, there's always something going on.
Yep.
I had to clean the pool cover. I had to pressure wash the deck because I couldn't find anyone to pressure wash. And you want to get it done sooner. I call people; they're like a month out.
Oh,
I go, do I want my deck pressure washed in August? I mean, forget about it.
Forget about it.
You know what I'm saying?
Forget about it. Sales have been a roller coaster on eBay, mostly good. Well, there you go.
Good, better than bad.
Thank you.
Learn a lot in this show.
You should get a T-shirt that says that.
Wait, what was that one you told me I should make up?
You said something about Ozempic.
Yeah. Everyone thinks I'm on Ozempic, but I'm actually working hard. So I said, Ozempic can't do what I can.
There you go.
Right?
Nice.
We're gonna make up
nice.
T-shirts.
Yep. There you go.
And for those that want Chuck Inspires Chucks, my employee that made them has to get rid of the I don't know what they call it, the
Template?
screen, template before making a new one for us, $1 Million Peddlers. So if anyone wants a Chuck Inspires Chucks T-shirt, let me know now. We're gonna make up a last batch and go from there.
Nice. 16 out of 46 on promoted. So promoted is only 33%, and I haven't changed anything whatsoever.
I feel like it's slowly going down a little bit for you.
Yeah, it is, which is a positive. I think part of it might be I'm noticing I'm getting more repeat buyers than I had in the past. That people buy one thing from me and then they come back and buy another of the same type of thing they bought before.
Good. I know you were always jealous of me.
I am. That was always been one of my weaknesses.
That's good. Yeah, that'll help out.
Offers report 100 old, 243 total offers during the last week I could make.
All right.
Here's the crazy part. Last year, same week, 106.
Wait, what are you now?
243.
Wow, that's crazy. Well, so your sales you should have more sales really by that alone.
Yeah. Yep. That's insane. 2 items on $1 Million Peddlers over on eBay, both of which happened on the same day. So that was a little weird. 1 on Vivs-Views and 2 on Etsy. How about buys? Anybody out there buying anything? I know Mr. Magazine is.
I got, let's see. I picked up some cool stuff this week, some autograph stuff, but they got that regular that comes in with signed books and stuff. Mm-hmm. So he brought in, what would you pay?
$3.80.
It was from the 70s, Dungeons and Dragons, one of the basic game sets, still factory sealed.
Oh,
one of the early ones. So I'll tell you right now. So he found a comp that sold for $1,000.
I was going to say $500 was my number.
And then if you go on eBay unsold, like listed ones, there's one for $600 that's sealed. It has stickers on it all over the cover, all over the seal. And then one that's sealed for $600. But one sold for $1,000. So what would you pay?
Well, knowing that, $250.
So that's what I offered him. And he goes, I was really hoping for 3. I said, I can give you 3.
Yeah,
he's a good guy. And, at the very least, they should be able to sell it for 6 at some point or 7. But,
wow,
we're going to put a higher price on it because it is super cool.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah. But, besides that, Aaron is in Texas with Dan with a 26-foot Penske, picking up 2 different collections in Texas, 15,000 DVDs. And the funny thing about it is we had this Texas deal set in stone for like 2 months. I made him payments, and we were waiting for Aaron's schedule to free up so he can go out in June. And then I get a letter in the mail from a gentleman. Oh, I seen your website. I have 3,000 DVDs I want to sell. I'm in Texas. So I go, perfect. The only thing that sucked is he's 5 hours away from the other deal.
But still.
Which is an extra day. But
it's still closer than New York.
We made a deal that was good enough where it's worth the extra day. It's worth the extra mileage. Let's do it. So they're coming back with about 15,000 DVDs Monday.
And Flippin' Roo bought a postcard haul from Jeff Norton. Look at that.
Wow.
13,000 postcards. Oh, my goodness gracious.
Ooh, puddings. Oof.
What's worse than putrid? Your sales. What do I win? Come on, that was funny.
You own a thesaurus. You must know. Well, you probably got some thesauruses hanging out.
Wow. So I went to an estate sale on Thursday.
Oh, Aaron's in the house. Hey, buddy, how's it going? Rest up. I don't know what's going on tomorrow. You're probably going to the other DVD deal, but try and get in earlier as possible. So at least if we can't golf, we'll at least get a meal going on for you guys.
So I went to an estate sale Thursday. There were about 5 estate sales to choose from. So I chose the one that looked the most promising paper-wise. Opened at 9:30.
Okay.
I get there at 10:30. Find books and paper stuff down in the basement, $2 a piece.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, well, first, when I was outside, he had a box of, I didn't know what they were. They were envelopes, they looked like.
Yeah.
And so I pick up the box. I'm looking at it. Look, I don't know. These might be letters. These might be envelopes. I'm not really sure what these are, but it's a whole priority box, like medium-sized priority box full of stuff. And I'm like, I can't find anybody from the estate sale, but I don't want to leave it laying there because somebody else might pick it up.
Sure.
So worst, I carry it around, whatever, who cares?
Yeah.
I carried it up to the counter. Well, the owner was sitting nearby, and I'm like, this doesn't have a price. He goes, oh, yeah, that's ours. How's $10? I go, all right. Well, I get home. Their first day covers from, which I don't generally deal in, but they're from the 1930s on back for the most part, a lot of foreign stuff. About 350 of them, probably something like that. So I paid about 3 cents a piece on those.
Very cool stuff, though. I saw it. Yeah.
Think I can make some money on that.
I would think so.
And then I went in the basement and they had paper, $2 a piece. And I'm finding some interesting pieces of paper and interesting magazines, things like that. So I make a pile. I go up to the counter. The guy looks at it. He goes, I don't know, how's $60? I'm like, given that there are more than 30 items in there.
You're all in for like 1,000 items for $70.
I'm like, yeah, okay, that sounds good. He goes, is there more paper? I go, yeah. He goes, why don't you make another box? I go, okay. Made another box, brought it up. He goes, how's 40 on that one? I go, that works for me.
Yeah, 110, and you probably got thousands of dollars just sitting there.
But here's the crazy thing, though. It was an hour into the first day of a 3-day sale, which tells me either times are tough at these estate sale people or there aren't a lot of paper dealers.
Well, there's not a lot of paper dealers, but he's got nothing to lose but to tell you to come back on day 3. But he knows you're probably most likely going to be taking him anyway, so might as well get the money on day 1. I guess save him a couple
I'm
days.
there, and then he doesn't have to worry.
Yeah, you're guaranteed. Because then what if he doesn't sell them to you and you're busy Sunday and now he's stuck with them?
Right.
Because quick $100.
Because how many of the $2 items are other people going to take? Exactly. They might buy one here, one there. He might sell 10 of them.
Right.
Better just to haul them all out. Have me haul them all out. Did you notice the Rogue when you walked in, Mr. Magazine?
I noticed it this morning, and I noticed it about an hour ago, and it's filled with lots of banker boxes.
I got 18 banker boxes full of books for free, which is a pretty good price.
Yeah.
And 4 bags of books. So far, I've unloaded 1 bag of books. So we're not able to use the vehicle for a while right now. I've got to get that stuff listed over on Whatnot. I'm into it right. So you guys, those of you that buy books from me over on Whatnot, you're going to be getting some great deals because I'm into it absolutely right.
Who would have thought the Rogue would be a free storage unit?
Exactly. And went to Madison Bachville, went with Local Mike. Thanks, Local Mike. Had a lot of fun over there. Deals weren't particularly good over there. I think I spent $285, but there is a haul video that I did shoot. And that'll be coming up sometime soon as well. So that Whatnot book auctions. Indeed. Getting 18 boxes worth of stuff to put through those auctions. And then 2 fleas on Sunday. I went to the one, bought a bunch of stuff, a bunch of magazines that I'm going to be bringing over to Whatnot. 1930s poultry magazines, 1920s country gentleman magazines.
Oh, cool.
Bringing those over to Whatnot.
Before I forget, because my memory's not what it used to be, I mentioned my employees making up
Neither's a
$1 million peddler shirts, so we should ask if anyone wants any custom-made $1 million peddler shirts. But also, I'm putting in an order for my kids' DJ shirts and for Leone's collectibles. They're going to be red. If anyone wants any of them, just let me know, and we'll ship them for free. No problem.
Nice. Wow, look at you. She.
You know what she is thrilled about? She saw this small little Mercedes-Benz out there, and she was a little excited and wanted a paperboy to buy her one.
Well, perhaps if the 18 boxes of books go high enough, we can do that.
True. You could buy it from me.
Then I forgot about the second flea market, and then I was sitting here and I go, oh, there's the other flea market today. Went down there, bought a bunch of Victorian scraps and trade cards and things like that.
Cool.
That'll be coming over to Whatnot as well. So basically my buying now is just basically stuff for Whatnot.
Cool. Yeah,
which is good.
Whatever works.
Same at Madison Bachville. Fewer dealers this spring, and my favorites weren't there. Yeah, no, there were a few dealers I look forward to buying from, and they absolutely were not there. Glitch of the week. So a buddy of ours got a glitch. Now, he sold out his inventory to me years ago, but apparently he forgot to end something. And of course, the one item he ended up getting a violation on Amazon for.
Really?
Yep. He did not end Tom Swift. Are you familiar with the Tom Swift books?
Not too much.
But they're series books.
Sure.
Tom Swift and the Phantom Satellite.
Okay.
It's a book in the series. I don't know, book 12 in the series or something.
Okay.
It got taken down for being a restricted product.
And what's the reason?
Tom Swift and a Phantom satellite. The AI must have thought that it was really a satellite that he was selling.
And good luck calling someone regarding it. So good luck with that one.
So the AI saw the word set, and of course he's saying, "Oh, I just got restricted. What am I in trouble for?" And I go, probably you're trying to sell a satellite.
How hard is it to end all your listings, though? It can't be that hard.
He must have missed one somehow. I don't know.
And the one he missed is a violation.
This is the one he got a violation. And of course, he's not a fan of the computer to start with. So now I'm explaining to him that, yeah, you're in trouble for trying to sell a satellite, and it went over about as well as you expected. I don't know if you've all noticed this or not, but when you're listing over on eBay, it defaults to the center of the page on the listing template.
I don't list, so I wouldn't even know.
So it defaults to the condition area, and you got to go up to the pictures as opposed to it defaulting to the top of the page, which common sense would tell you default to the top because you have to change the pictures anyway and work your way down. No, nope, defaults right to the middle on every new listing.
Crazy.
Kind of crazy on that. And that's when the pictures work. Because today the picture area wasn't showing up for long periods of time. You had to refresh the page to be able to even put a picture up.
Wow.
Yeah, it's wonderful. Wonderful.
Oh, you should sell the paper going.
Don't sell it on Amazon, Jeff. I'm warning you. Right? That one is annoying. So Don's had that problem there with that. Apparently Friday, Google was down. There were widespread search engine problems Friday with Google.
I'm trying to think.
But nothing happens.
I mean, I typed in OnlyFans. I think everything was fine.
How much money are you making from there now?
Zilcho.
Oh. So default page listing sucks when you were selling similar. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. And listen now, it is defaulting to the top of the page. That's good. So maybe they finally improved it, or it could just be on your browser at this time on your computer. Who knows?
Super Sandy's here. How's it going?
Yep. So yeah, it's been annoying. Very, very annoying. And Whatnot keeps changing. Books are supposed to be under the Whatnot category, but then halfway through the auction, the books category shows back up on the listing. So then I list some stuff in a books category on its own, but sometimes it's in the and Whatnot category. So they apparently hired some. Apparently, they're running server space from eBay. Is what it looks like. They're doing something.
I mean, as long as your sales aren't affected by it, who cares? I guess
that's true. AI took over Google. Yes, they did. Yes, they did. Item of the week. Here's where I need your help out there, people. This is the item of the week this week. In my hand. So those of you who follow us over on our, the regular YouTube. Hello, Antiquarian Bookman. I put up a short the other day of something that I picked up at Madison Bachville, a whole bag full of paper that I paid $45 for. This was in it. I need your help out there telling me what to use when I list this. What word or phrase to use when I list it. We'll let Mr. Magazine read it. Put him on the spot here. You can skip the guy's name, and the name isn't particularly important.
What about Treasurer's Office?
Yep.
Is it Claremont County?
Claremont County, Ohio. What's the date on that?
June 18th, 1864.
1864, right in the middle of the Civil War.
Received of the person the sum of
$100.
Yeah, it is $100.
Which I looked up, and $100 in 1864 is worth about $1,900 today.
Wow. Being for commutation for fines and penalties for neglect to, I don't know that word.
Perform.
It looks like an O in front of it. Military service, except Ander calls to. Man, you really put me on a spot.
I guess you didn't learn cursive in school.
Well, I did.
Or repel invasion or suppress insurrection, signed by the treasurer. So basically, this is exactly. This is from 1864, and the gentleman paid a $100 fine. Is it dereliction? Okay, so it's dereliction during the Civil War. Would that be what I would call it? Like a dereliction fine paper or something or other like that? I'm thinking it's a pretty cool paper because, again, it's from 1864, during the Civil War, and the gentleman didn't do his duty there. Did find out as well, doing a little research, you could have paid somebody to fight. If you were drafted, you could pay somebody to fight for you in the war as well. Let's see what people out there say. Civil War draft dodger. Okay. Dereliction of duty.
There you go. All right.
Of duty. Very good. All right. Yeah. So it's an interesting little piece over there, definitely. And again, it was in a whole box. Here's half of the box of stuff that I got. So that was in the middle of that stuff there.
Cool.
And about that much other stuff as well for $45 at Madison Bachville.
Oh,
Couldn't complain about that. Wealthy could pay a fine to avoid getting drafted. No burn bone spurs needed. There you go.
I would have been trading like comics or something. Not to do it.
So that's a pretty neat little item there.
Yeah,
little interesting piece of history right over there.
That's going on eBay, I assume.
Yeah. But I was wondering what to call it. Oh, thank you, Daniel. Yeah, I was wondering what to call it. So dereliction of duty paper. Thank you, everybody. I do appreciate it. Insulting offer of the week. Mr. Magazine had Olympic Duke mode baseball glove. Very rare Duke mode. Is it supposed to be model?
I would think so. Yeah.
Okay. Some more dereliction of duty fine receipt. Oh, thank you. Asking $66, got a $5 offer on it. What does a glove cost nowadays?
Oh, hundreds. I mean, if you get a name brand like Mizuno, I mean, some of the Rawlings ones, or certain models that the pros wear, like, I don't think it's A2000 and stuff like that. They could be $300, $400, $500. Wow. But for the most part, I mean, $100. I mean,
that's more than $5.
It's more than $5. Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
It probably was a catcher's glove, and they probably didn't even know it.
We're going to say hello to Miss.
Oh, marvelous Miss Lachey's in the house. How you doing?
I had a Magic Ring magazine, which is a magician's magazine. Free shipping to California. $17 I was asking on it. He offers $6, which is less than my shipping supplies in my fees.
Yeah. If you medium mailed it, you might lose $1.
Which of course you can't do.
Right.
I had a book up for sale. I was asking $32. Person overseas offered $9 and said someone else sold one for that. I said,
too bad you missed it.
I nicely said, and it's not available for that anymore because they underpriced it. That's why they sold it. Jeez. I said, I have free shipping. They didn't.
Yeah.
And they didn't buy it, but they understood. So that's good. List under women's shoes. Exactly. And then send you the item number, Mike.
Yeah.
Local Mike.
Yeah. Win-win.
And then I don't know if you remember a while ago, Mr. Magazine, I brought up the Harper's Weekly with the Matthew Brady Abraham Lincoln inside of it.
Okay. Yep.
I'm asking $444 on it. I got a $44 offer on it.
10%.
I gave them the band hammer.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Because again, my question would be,
it's just insulting. I mean, come on.
But my question would be, he's got a $250,000 house. I go in and go, yeah, nice house. House $25,000.
Yeah, exactly.
He's going to throw me out. I'm going to look like the Fresh Prince's buddy flying out of the house.
Well, first of all, it's a one of a kind. Secondly, even if he thinks you're high, $250, maybe you bite at that. Don't insult someone and think you're
at $44. Yeah.
For all he knows, you could have paid $50 or $100 for it.
Yeah, and it has free shipping to top it all off. Customer issues. We only had one, and this is kind of crazy. Mr. Magazine had somebody cancel an order on them because they found a worse offer. They paid $1 more from somebody else for the item, and then they wanted Mr. Magazine to cancel theirs.
I don't even understand why. I mean, I'm confused. Like, that's the first ever, I think.
The only thing I can think of is they may have made multiple offers, like to you and somebody else and somebody else.
Or that one's better condition or something, maybe.
Well, or they make you a $10 offer, and the other person a $10 offer, and the other person says, I could take 12. And they say, okay, they accept it. I can take 11, and they accept it. And then when you accept it, they already have one coming.
Crazy.
You're familiar, and we've talked about it in the past. You're familiar with Backyard Breaks?
Yep.
Guess how many employees they have?
Oh, gosh. 25.
80.
Oof. Wow.
That's a little bit of overhead.
Well, and they probably got popular during COVID. So what I'd love to know what they had before COVID. 10? You didn't really think about that. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, they got 80 employees.
Yeah. And they probably have a crew of guys that go all to shows all over the country, buying stuff up cheap, cheap enough, and then flipping it.
Yeah. Or even if they got to pay 80, 90%.
They do, yeah.
Still
It's amazing what they pay, yeah. For sure.
Christie's has more than 100 Louis Vuitton trunks, the things to carry stuff in,
wow,
up for auction.
All from one collection? Or?
One collection, yeah.
Wow.
This guy's been collecting things his entire life, back to the 1800s in some of these trucks. Wow. Over 100 of them. I would love to know what he paid for them.
Yeah, right.
I mean, some of them he probably came across cheap because he knew what they were.
Sure.
But I'm sure some of them he certainly paid up for.
Yeah.
Someone canceled an order for a Subaru mug because they bought it by mistake. Yeah. Oh, I love that. Bought it by you click through. I love when they make you an offer too. They make you an offer, they click through, they pay on it, and then I bought it by mistake.
Well, how many times they say, I'm a dealer. I was just looking to see what one was selling for.
Yeah. I thought that was mine. I thought you made me the offer. Did you see that the 2003-2004 Michael Jordan Upper Deck Ultimate Collection autographed Logo Man sold?
Yes. 2-point-something million?
Yeah, almost $3 million. It is one of one.
What I don't understand is that's the highest Jordan ever.
Yeah.
So a Luka just sold for 4.6 a week before that.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So why is Luka cards, who's nowhere near Michael Jordan,
Was it a Logo Man?
Yeah. So it's his best. I think it's flawless or one of one, whatever. There's a certain few that are the one of ones to get, rookie patch, auto, whatever. And 4.6 million, at least that's what I saw on Instagram. I don't know how true it is, but why would that be double a Jordan's most expensive card? It's crazy.
Cannot answer that.
Exactly.
So this was an interesting story. A few years back, a guy buys a, how do you say it? Degas artist online for 1,000 euros.
Okay.
Now the person selling it, took pictures and everything and says, look, my uncle or great uncle, whatever, bought this, included a copy of the receipt.
Yeah.
It's signed Degas, but I don't think it's a Degas. He bought it, he paid this for it. I don't think it really is. Sure. Well, this guy bought it for 1,000 euros. Turns out it's real.
Jeez.
$13 million is what they expect that to be. I mean, it was cool of the guys trying to sell it in the first place to say, I don't think it's real. And, let you make your own decision on it. Because how many people would say, it's got to be real. It's got to be real. And then, whatever.
Yeah, I get that Luka's in the finals and say he wins and gets MVP. Jordan's done that 6 times. And there's no Luka shoes that people are buying millions of every week. They're Air Jordan shoes. So, I mean, it just doesn't make sense. But, hey, someone wants to throw around $4 million on a card of Luka, good for him.
Well, so would you rather, Mr. Magazine, throw around $4 million on the Luka card or buy
whatever you're going to say?
Wow, you don't even care what it is you're buying.
I mean, these basketball players, they're paying the prices of what they think they're going to be. You know what I mean? Because if you're paying for what he is now, he's nowhere near Jordan, so it doesn't make any sense.
Well, Sotheby's has an auction they feel will go for $4 to $6 million. So Mr. Magazine is already committed to buying this.
Right.
Apex to Stegosaurus skeleton.
My younger son would probably love that.
So apparently dinosaur skeletons are hot as anything. And if you go out in your backyard and start digging and find one, you can get $4 to $6 million if it's a Stegosaurus.
A complete one, I'm assuming.
Yeah. Huh? Yep. Some of the people are complaining about the dinosaur skeletons going for what they're going for because it's kind of pricing the museums out.
Yeah.
But a couple of the private collectors are actually letting museums show the skeletons anyway. So it's kind of a win-win. Have you ever heard of Powell's Bookstore in Portland?
No.
Well, it's a famous bookstore, but apparently not famous enough. They actually had a warehouse sale.
Wow.
$3 hardcover, $2 softcover, $1 paperbacks. A few people showed up. Enough people that the line was 1 mile long.
But they weren't getting any gold mines because there's bookstore. They should, no one paid $1 and got $1,000 book, I'm assuming.
I would think not. Yeah. Probably, $5 books normally are $1 and $10 or $3.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. A mile long people that are
they're probably scanning like, maybe these are $10. I can buy them for $1. Yeah.
That's kind of crazy. Zion's price was stupid.
Yeah, yes, exactly. Yeah, that's great.
Absolutely.
I think Luka's a better bet than Zion, but still, no one's going to beat Jordan ever. And LeBron's next in line.
Powell. Yep. Hey, I'm up to 10% featured on Amazon.
I don't know what's going on with you, but keep it going.
Keep it going.
I'm steady at 3, I think.
20 years ago was the last time I was there. Yeah, I've never been there, but yeah, they did have the warehouse sale. The person that I read the story, they got in line stood there for about half an hour and said, let's go over to the real store. Went over to the real store, and the real store was crowded because a lot of people were like, I'm not going to stand in that line.
Right.
But I feel like getting a book. So they did really, really well at the regular store at regular prices and at the warehouse sale.
Win-win.
Fun walking back to the car with the tote of books. Yeah, mile long tote. Trust me, I've done that before at Madison Bachville. And
you need those little carts.
90-degree weather. It's fun. These bookstore sales are a good place to pick up art books, local history, not local to the store, and religious books. Oh, thank you for that tip, Puddings.
Probably women too.
Yeah. So Mr. Magazine got some news today. He and the other rich people are not so happy. Right?
I'm not happy, no.
Why?
eBay is not allowing American Express as a credit card that you can use on eBay anymore.
As of mid-August.
Yep.
Basically, eBay does not like the fees that Amex is charging. And eBay has stated that there are plenty of other ways for people to pay. So they're not going to be accepting American Express anymore.
I mean, it has to hurt them a little bit. I mean, it's some percentage. It's got to hurt them.
So what do you got? Was it the black or is it the platinum or black? What's the one you got where it's the unlimited credit and you just have to pay it off every month? But you can buy,
it's a gold card
where you can buy
well, it's unlimited.
Stegosaurus.
Yeah, I could spend 100,000, but then I got to pay it off in a month. So where am I going?
You buying the Stegosaurus?
I could sell you the Mercedes for Mrs. Paperboy. Then I can buy the Maserati MC20 with that, but I just have to figure out how I'm going to make a couple 100,000 in a month.
Sell at dinosaurs.
Yeah, in Rochester, a lot of them probably
toting your stuff in Blackville. Yep.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. How's it feel? How's it feel, eBay?
That's funny, Don.
So now I got it. Well, so we got what, a couple, 2-3 months, 2 months. So I got to find another credit card and pay it off little by little over the next 2 or 3 months. And then when it's time to switch over, I have enough on there that I can just, because Amex is nice. If I spend $5-10 grand on eBay with my fees and stuff, I'll pay it off, but at least it's,
right. Yeah.
I'll do it with someone else. I got to do it with, I get a lot of rewards. So I got to find another credit card with rewards.
Well, I do know.
Exactly.
I do know Mr. Magazine has $525,000 he needs to pay off that Amex this month because I'm sure he bought that rocket firing Boba Fett, one of 2 hand painted that we talked about last week.
So the hand painted are loose, not in package. I would still love to have that. Don't get me wrong.
Well, it's one of 2. It's like a prototype kind of
right. Deal. But there are a couple that snuck out to employees that were carded. And that one guy had one for a few years ago. It was $250,000. I mean, it's got to be $1 million by now. Because I'd rather have the carded one. But I take either one. I just don't have the money.
Well, I thought you used your credit card on that.
I don't know if they'll cover $500,000, maybe $100K.
Oh, all right. We mentioned a couple of weeks ago that Christie's had a data breach. Well, now they've got what happens after every single data breach, a class action lawsuit. So they're being sued by their users for not protecting everybody's data.
Ridiculous.
So what are you going to be doing next week at 7:30 p.m. Eastern on Wednesday, Mr. Magazine?
Well, normally I would be here, but my kid has a scheduled baseball tournament an hour away in Buffalo.
So to replace Mr. Magazine next week, we are going to have Franklin Hill Ventures, and he'll be coming on. Mrs. Paperboy will be sitting there with the feed, and Franklin Hill Ventures will be coming on. Should be a really fun show, really, really good interview. So
it really is a perfect week for me to take off, though, to be honest with you. Yeah. Too many cooks in the kitchen.
There you go. So May is yet another record month for grading sports cards. Hit the like button. 1.78 million cards in a month.
Wow. So
it's 50,000 more than the previous high.
And again, I'm kind of out of the loop, but CGC bought out SGC.
The PSA did. PSA bought.
Oh, but CGC grades cards now.
Yeah, they're on their own.
Okay.
Right now.
Okay.
PSA bought SGC.
Gotcha. All right. So,
but here's the crazy thing: record-setting number of graded cards. Beckett is dead man walking. They're down 6% during the month.
Little by little.
More and more people are getting cards graded. Yep. Nobody is going to Beckett to speak of. There you go, Mrs. Paperboy.
I've been saving some cards up to get graded, some Derek Jeter SP rookies and some Jordans, because I got all these deals all over the country. So maybe in the next month or so I'll get some graded. We'll see.
Nice. Probably settle my offering. Indeed they are.
What a deal.
They've already done that to the people who they know have been affected. They have 1 year of credit monitoring. Now there's a Mrs. Paperboy trademark infringement. Exactly. Exactly. So then we had remember how the drink was, what was it?
God, it was
so long ago. Bruegel XV. Bruegel 15.
Brutal. Brutal.
So on $1,000,000.peddlers, remember how a while ago we mentioned that eBay wants people to pass along the shipping savings to the customers?
Yes.
I've not had that opportunity on Papergoy, which I would turn down anyway.
Right.
But on $1,000,000.peddlers, I do pass along the savings. Makes no difference. I've done no extra sales because of it. Nobody said, oh, he's charging $1.20 less for shipping, I got to buy it. And I think one of the reasons is because we sell items that there aren't a lot of out there.
Right.
I think that if I were sitting there selling socks and you got 15 different people you can choose from socks, shipping might matter. But if I'm the only person selling the item, if I'm charging $5.80 or $7, what difference does it make?
Right, exactly.
Realistically?
Yep.
See away from some sign stuff. Yep. John Lennon's guitar from Help sold for $2.9 million. So you need to have that guitar, play it in front of your Tyrannosaurus skeleton.
Again, 2.9 million. Fine, I can justify that. But I'd still rather have that than the Luca card. I'm sorry, I just would. Wow. Or two of those, two different signed ones.
You know, if I were ever to win the lottery, to prank you, I'd buy you a $4.5 million Luca card, but you couldn't sell it.
Then you drive over with the Mercedes that you bought from me to give to Mrs. Paperboy.
There you go. Yeah. And I would hand you the Luca card and go, here you go, buddy. Mine right now is set to off by eBay, but I don't sure. That is good to know, though. It's in my settings. Okay. Good to know and good for everybody out there to know because, like Troy says, just in case eBay does all of a sudden magically turn it on and some change, it's good to know that we can turn it off ourselves and where it's at. Thank you. So I went to a book train over on Whatnot, and I'm doing the Tuesday ephemera, Wednesday magazine, Thursday book sales, all at 4 p.m. Eastern. But I'm part of a lot of different trains during this month because there's a lot of book trains and various things like that.
I bet you are.
Get your mind out of the gutter. And so I had a 20 minutes I could sell books the other day. And 20 minutes is not a lot of time to sell books whatsoever. And I always have my spiel.
Why do they limit it so little?
They want as many sellers as they possibly can. They wanted to kind of introduce you to lots of different sellers. So if you're on the book train, you see you for 20 minutes, me for 20 minutes, next guy for 20 minutes, and you get a lot of people as opposed to an hour shift.
So how many sellers and how many hours was it? Roughly.
I'm gonna say I was at 4:40. I think it started at 11. Probably lasted till 9 at night. So you're probably talking in 10 hours at 30 sellers in a day then. Yeah, so they got a lot of people through. But I did 20 minutes and I had 20 items. So 1 minute an item, I had to fly and I got everything done, spoiler alert. But I knew that there were a few of my regulars in the room and there were a few people that have never seen me before. And you've seen me do a Whatnot auction before, and it's not like anybody else's. I talk a mile a minute, and I'm always talking throughout it. Whereas there are other sellers out there, God bless them, they have a different style. They're more late. Hey, we've got a wonderful book here. You're going to absolutely love this book. There are no mistakes, just happy accidents. They're over there selling books like that, which, hey, great. It works for them. But you've been to plenty of public auctions in your day. Do you remember the spiel that the auctioneers always said at the beginning of the auction?
Like the whole where is as this thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I started the auction off and I said, you're going to have to forgive me. It's 4:40. I don't have a lot of energy today. And I had been outside that day, mowed the lawn or whatever. I said, I've got allergies. I don't have a lot of energy. So it's going to be a low key show today. All items today are sold as is, wares, or present condition. I'll point out any flaws as I see them. It is a cataloged auction. Everything is a $3 start, 30-second auctions. We go through everything in order and let's get started. like that. And people are like, no energy. What?
Yeah.
And I go, yeah, I'm sorry. I'm going a little slow today. And of course, my
Jeez.
regulars were all laughing, and the other people were like, what the heck is up with this guy? Like, you got too much coffee. All righty. We're going to head on into the main topic, Mr. Magazine. Every reselling niche has a trade-off. Niche if you're west of the Mississippi.
Oh, that's a tough one. I guess the only thing I can think of is hold on.
Which will give you motivation. There you go. Absolutely.
So if you have a niche or niche and you're all in for this niche or niche,
You can choose one or the other. You don't have to say.
So I'm doing magazines. I'm buying magazines all over the place. People come to my store, this, magazine, we're going to pound out magazines. I guess it takes you away from other things you can make money on then, unless you're willing to find the time and buy everything and anything that comes through. But I guess I would say it takes your focal point off anything else that comes in that could be good. So say buying all these magazines and I'm broke because Aaron's over here, then he's going to Oregon, then he's going to California, and I got no other money. Someone just comes in with this awesome toy collection and needs $8,000 and it's worth $30,000. I might have to pass on it because I just spent all my money on my niche magazines. I mean, that's the only thing I can think of, but that's me.
Okay.
What do you think?
Oh, well, I'm glad you asked. The good thing with the niche that I'm in is it's cheap. It's cheap to buy stuff.
Right.
Absolutely cheap. The bad thing with the niche, the trade-off, is the fact that it doesn't sell that fast. Well, A, buy so much, you can only list so much, but B, it doesn't sell all that fast. And then you start running out of storage room. Whereas if you sit there and you've got fast moving stuff, but I'm paying pennies on the dollar.
Right.
If I've got fast moving stuff, can I find fast moving stuff that I pay pennies on the dollar for? Probably not.
All right.
Probably not regularly.
Well, the problem is you have how many tens of thousands of items that you haven't listed yet? 50, 100,000, whatever.
Yeah.
Well, from what I'm going to project in the future is this is all going to be here for years and years and years. All these big deals and connections you have coming through, you're going to, one way or the other, you're going to circulate them into whatnot. So whether it's new or old, whatever's coming in, something else is going out equally, but everything else is going to stay the same. Because you just can't stay up, like a meth head 24 hours a day and just list on eBay, Amazon, then whatnot. eBay, Amazon, I mean, you got to have your life and stuff, but
right.
It's good to get these connections. But again, these are the same boxes that have been here. And, at some point you like say, hey, instead of selling 3 comics per lot, do 6 comics per lot. I don't know, but
right.
Because then you're going to be out of room and need storage somewhere.
Right. And that's the problem with the niche that I'm in is, and it's a good problem to have on the one hand, is it's easy to find inventory.
Yeah.
And you don't pay a lot for that inventory. The bad problem is it doesn't fly off the shelves and it takes time to, it takes a lot of time to list it.
Yeah.
And depending on what I'm getting into, if I'm getting into books and magazines, they take up a lot more room than postcards do.
Right.
Take up a lot more room than trade cards do.
Sure.
Now, they take up a lot less room than pinball machines do.
True.
But let's think about pinball machines for a minute. What's the trade-off on that? You've got a limited market,
right.
Few people that will be able to handle them. If I were my age, I might have figured out how to do pinball machines and transport them and everything. I'm 80 years old. I'm not going to be able to.
Right.
I can't bring a pinball machine up myself.
They take up room. You could have 10 in here compared to 10,000 items or 20,000 items. But again, and then they can get damaged in shipping. The electronics would shift. Another headache, So
yeah, and that's what that entire.
Some of those early ones are crazy money now.
Oh yeah,
Local Joe's got, I think, a couple cool ones still, but like this old Star Wars ones, I always wanted one. They used to be 5,000. Now they're 25 to 50,000.
Really?
It's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that's the trade-off is, and the other thing too is I can go to pretty much any flea market.
Yeah.
And I can find stuff that I deal in.
And buying pinball machines, it's not like, oh, I'm out of inventory, I need to go find 5 today. It doesn't happen like that.
Yeah, you have to make connections with people, and all that bowling alley used to have one.
Yeah, and unless you're getting old ones that need repairs that you can buy cheap and fix up. I mean, you're not going to get a Star Wars one and say it's worth 30,000. No one's going to sell it to you for 10 or 15. You're going to have to pay 20, 25 or whatever.
Right. And again, that is the advantage of our niche is you do have large markups.
Yeah.
And again, the disadvantage is stuff doesn't fly off the shelf and the inventory can pile up, I've heard, very, very easily on stuff. Exactly.
Where'd those come from?
Exactly. But then again, you get into other things. You get into makeup. What's the problem with makeup?
I would think that it gets brittle over time and stuff.
Expiration dates. Yeah, you've got expiration dates. You sell the K-Cup coffee, you got expiration dates.
Yep.
You sell stuff like knives. Well, all of a sudden, some countries you can't ship them to, in some areas you can't ship this to,
Sure.
in some places you can't ship this to. And this was another isn't something other that I would ever get into, but it kind of shook me. It didn't shake me up, but it was jarring, I guess would be what I would say. I went to Ohio to the Hartville Flea Market. And if you haven't checked out that haul video from Monday, definitely do so. Good video up there. But I went to the Hartville Flea Market, and one of the people was set up with ammunition all over his table. He was selling ammunition.
Is that legal? I don't even know.
In Ohio, apparently it is.
Okay.
And again, you sell ammunition in New York State. I know from what I remember, they check ID and all that stuff on it. Yeah. So you certainly couldn't set up at a flea market and sell ammo over there. Yet they did it over there. Selling yourself. I got nothing into it, so Pinball Wizard is indeed. But that gentleman may do wonderfully setting up at the flea market selling ammo.
Yeah.
Good luck to him if you tried to ship it through the mail and all that, or you get into alcohol and all that.
Like I think Ohio, Pennsylvania, you can sell them. But again, New York State, I think they give you a small window. You can have stores, but you can have those little tents for a week or two.
Right. I mean, certain things you can, certain things you can't, and so on. I don't tend to. The only rules that I need to know about old paper are potentially eBay's rules as far as what's not allowed with nudity. Not that I deal in nudity, but nudity, and what's not allowed with Black Americana and that stuff. Any of the stuff that could be considered racially bad. Right, You can't sell those things. You played that pinball game, nice. Oh, really? Oh, that's cool. Yeah, we'll be probably going back down there again. I'm not sure when. That is a cool hotel, though. Very, very cool. That's where I stayed at when I was in Ohio, and I did a little video at the end with that hotel in there. But again, so a lot of people always think the grass is always greener somewhere else, but there is no niche that you can buy the product cheap all the time.
Right.
You can get it listed quickly, doesn't take up much room, and it sells immediately.
No, right. Yeah, forget it. No.
For good money.
If you can keep replenishing anytime you want to. Yeah.
That's another good point. Yeah. So those are all potential issues with things. It's too common. You can't sell it for enough. It takes up too much room. You can't replenish it. Yeah. Hey, great. I came across a great golden age comic book collection. Super. You sold out. You made tons of money. What are you doing now? I don't know. I don't need more golden age comic books, and I'll never once in a lifetime buy.
Right. Exactly. That's the problem. Yeah. With the good stuff.
Yeah.
Especially in this day and age with good stuff, 10, 20, 30 years ago, it came in a little more plentiful. Now, with everything online and eBay, I mean, everyone wants top dollar for their stuff. They don't sell it to us necessarily. That if you have $1,000 card, I offer you $400 or $500. Well, I can get $700 on eBay for it.
Right? Do that. Yeah. Yep. Definitely. Ad for the Wizard Pinball. Oh wow.
My dad loved Anne Margaret. Yeah.
She still looked good in what was that movie with?
It wasn't for being like 80 or
close
to 80.
Actually very good. Grass might be greener, but it doesn't mean you can't sell it. You can sell it. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And the other thing too is we're deep enough into our niche and it's what we know. Do I necessarily want to go into, hey, cameras, everybody's making good money on cameras. Do I suddenly want to start selling cameras? I don't know what to look for in cameras, and that's the other thing too. No matter what niche you go into, there's negatives. We know enough from having done it long enough that we know that, hey, if you get into the Teen Beat magazines, you better check them for completeness. Right. Circus magazines, you better make sure the posters are in there. You better make sure, because we've been doing it long enough to know those things. You get me into cameras, I sell one camera lens and the person's like, you didn't know this was cracked in here? No, I don't know the first thing about it.
To me, I used to do more cameras years ago because I went to a lot of the auctions. I picked up boxes of them, and then there'd be some good ones. But to me, they're like records because, you get 20, 30, 50 cameras. There's one or two good ones in there that you're going to hopefully sell and get good money back. And then the rest are $5 ones,
Right. Networking style pickers, flea market, auctions, antique malls, estate sales, and church sales are best places for sourcing. Networking absolutely is number one. No doubt whatsoever about that. Because then you got a lot of people looking for stuff for you. Just bought a contact. All right. And we're going to head on over for the rambling story of the week. And here's the rambling wreck from Texas Tech.
I'm running out of things to say, but
or is it Georgia Tech?
But every week something new.
It's never stopped me.
Yeah. Anyways, everyone knows I've been dieting, and I don't remember what I was at last week when I did the show. Maybe I lost 90
190 something.
But so anyways, I'm getting towards the 100 mark a few days ago.
Of weight loss, not weight left.
Of weight, yes.
I'm just checking.
285. I was getting to 185 at this point. And my son, who is going to be a senior for football, playing football in high school, and he's starting to go to camps and to colleges and see who likes him, what he likes. And he's like, I really got to get a little quicker right now in the next few months so I can perform faster. And hopefully these schools will want me better if I'm faster. So he wanted to do a 3-day fasting, eating nothing for 3 days. I go, well, now
is that healthy at his age?
As long as we're taking, he talked to someone about it. And there's something called liquid IV, which is like what you dump into drinks. It's got nutrients and stuff, and you have it 2 or 3 times a day, and it'll get you through a few days. So it's not too bad.
Right.
So he asked me to do it with him because I've had success dieting. I go, sure, why not? It'll help me get over my mark. So we started yesterday.
Now, is he doing shots of?
He's not doing shots, so don't tell him. But we'll get through yesterday. I was going to have some pickles and stuff. He goes, no, don't have anything. You can do it. He's telling me this. I'm like, you're right. So I worked out twice. Let's see. My wife took me to this sauna for 30 minutes where I was dripping, and then I went in the hot tub. Then I lost 5 pounds. And then today it kind of, worked out twice again. So I'm already at 105 pounds. I'm at 180 right now. So I've lost 105. And then
I'm the fat guy now.
And there's still, tonight and then tomorrow left. And then Friday morning, I'm going to have my breakfast. But, I just thought that was kind of cool. He's doing it. He just wants to lose 10 pounds in 3 days, which he should be able to do. And that'll get him a little quicker. And he's going to get a little, keep lifting.
You actually weigh less than me now. I'm the heavy guy on the show now.
I think last time I weighed 180, I was probably like 10 years old, 12 years old. I was heavy. Yeah.
I'm 191. So,
yeah.
Wow.
Crazy.
Everyone is on a diet. Some people are seafood. Exactly.
Yeah. And then a lot of people think I'm on Ozempic. And I said, I studied Ozempic. And one, I wasn't a diabetic, to get it legally. And you could lose 10 to 20% of your body weight in a year. Which is a lot. And if you're weighing, 200, 300, 400 pounds, sure. And I think I took off 40% of my body weight in 5 months. So I was telling Paperboy today, I go, Ozempic can't do what I do. Nice. He said I should have t-shirts made up. So
nice.
Maybe we'll replace the Chuck and Swears Chucks with Ozempic can't do what I do.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Another fun show.
And I'm a little guy in the seat now. Before I can barely get in the seat.
Do hit the like button if you could. Would definitely appreciate it. That's true. That is true. I'm a little taller. That's true.
I'm laying down too.
With the afro. Remember from Fletch?
Yeah.
6'4", 6'8" with the afro. Do hit the like button if you could. Would definitely appreciate that. We have I believe it's the Springfield, Ohio haul video coming out on Monday. So definitely do check that out. Next Wednesday, of course, we're going to have Franklin Hill Ventures on. We're going to be getting people into Mr. Magazine seats. So if he suddenly gets found by Hollywood and he's out of here.
Now, if there's a rain out or something, you want me to? Well, it's going to be in Buffalo, unless we know ahead of time.
If you know ahead of time, of course, you're always welcome. You know that.
I don't want to rain on Mrs. Paperboy's parade.
Well, there you go. We can also huddle. Now we can all huddle in.
That's true. Yeah. True.
All right, everybody, hit the like button if you could, and we will see you next video.
All right. I'll see you in a couple of weeks. Take care. Bye-bye.